Hi everyone, Pete and Grada here. How are you? We're in New Zealand at the moment.
Up in Matakana.
And it's 9 o'clock local time.
North of Auckland.
We're here for my nephew's wedding tomorrow. And then we'll be back at work again all of next week. So I have a funny story to tell you, and it's a funny story it's about a serious topic though. So tonight I want to talk a little bit about breast cancer and what you can do to prevent it and to give yourself a good chance as well to stay healthy. But the story is actually funny, isn't it, Pete?
It was quite funny.
At least it was funny for Pete and not for me. I'm still mortified.
Grada she ran out of time to get a new bra for herself before we left Tasmania. So we asked some local people here where she could get a bra, and we were sent down to a town.
About like 20 minutes drive away.
20 minutes drive, and we were thinking it was going to be a big centre, and we...
I'll tell the story because it's not very funny at all actually. Anyway, this is a bra shop. I absolutely hate bra shopping, and it all kind of started to go wrong when I set my foot in the door. So they only had bras in the shop, and beautiful lingerie. And but I wanted Peter to come with me for moral support because I absolutely hate bra shopping. That's why I had a sabotage and left it to the last minute. And because the bras that I'm wearing are about 5 years old, and I thought I'd get a good one for the wedding. And Peter didn't want to come in first, but then I saw a tiny little section with men's undies, so he quickly shuffled to that section, which also happened to be the only tiny section in the entire shop where they had bras without underwires, because I don't like to have metal wires in my bra. And when I asked the shop assistant where I could find some normal bras without wires, there was just a little rack in the corner, like I said, near the men's undies. And she started to mutter a bit.
Why don't you like underwire bras?
She said, what's wrong with wires in bra? And then she got real grumpy because it's been raining a lot here and it's been cold, so she was probably grumpy because of that. And she said more and more people are demanding wireless bras. And I don't know why, and she said, come into my room and I'll measure you up. So anyway, I went into the room with her, and then she measured my boobs through, like, I had to keep 3 layers of jumpers on because it was freezing cold, so that didn't help. And then she said something like, you are 18DD or something. I nearly died. And then she said, I don't have any bras for you in the shop here. You have to go to a different shop. And I was really, really shocked and horrified. Anyway, I don't think my boobs are that big.
It was quite ridiculous, really, because Grada's not
but it was
over-endowed.
But it was a huge bra shop. That's all they had, right? And the point is that all the bras were full of underwires and beautiful looking. In the end, I said, well, okay, then I'll just buy a bra with underwires because, you know, that'll be fine for one day for the wedding. And she said, no, I'm not helping you. Anyway, so I did a little bit of research when I came home. And quite a few years ago, probably about 10 years ago, there was a rumor going around that was based on a scientific study, which was, by the way, just one scientific study that was done on girls wearing bras, like underwire bras, especially teenage girls who keep their bra on like day and night as well. And that study said that it increases your chances of breast cancer by 50%, especially if you wear them at night as well. So I've never worn those kind of bras. I just prefer like sports bras or something like that.
Yeah, we've often heard that underwire bras.
Yeah, when you look up that study,
so
that's right. It says it has no scientific proof. But then there's also another study, by the way, that says you tend to get more breast cancer in the side of your non-dominant arm. So, for instance, breast cancer on the left side is more prevalent than on the right side. But again, then people say that's got nothing to do with your dominant arm or not. But most people have a dominant side on the right side, so most people are right-handed, and most cancers, if they are like single-sided cancer, breast cancer, are on the left side.
So there'd be less movement on the
that's right.
left side.
So really, whether the studies, whether they're based on science or not, I like to be careful anyway. And the underwire bras do press on important Chinese meridian points that block the flow, the lymphatic flow.
And energetic flow.
That's right. Towards and around your breast, into the breasts and out of the breasts again. Plus also, if you're sitting in front of your computer all day, which lots of people do, the bras act like what do you call it?
Antenna.
Or a conductor for energy.
Yep.
And so that's not healthy either. So there are many...
Metal attracts radiation or the electrical conductivity.
Yeah, electrical, magnetic toxicity. So, whether that story actually has scientific value doesn't really interest me that much, because it makes perfect sense to me, and I don't want to wait another 30 years till, that it's been scientifically proven. And the truth is, bra shops or lingerie shops are absolutely full of underwire bras, because of course they give you better shape, and they hold your boobs up all day. And they offer more support that way. But the fact is, breast cancer...
They're probably designed by men, so...
Maybe.
And
anyway,
men only go for the looks, maybe.
That's not entirely
Not
true.
entirely
No.
true.
Because most guys love their wives and they're devastated when their partners have breast cancer. So we've been thinking a lot about the lymphatic system, because breast tissue is of course full of lymphatic tissue. And here is something that you need to know. Our breast or the lymphatic tissue absolutely has an affinity for iodine. So if you are iodine deficient, and here I go, I hammer on about iodine again. If you're iodine deficient,
which we all are in Australia, if we don't
that's
supplement
right,
with iodine,
you're in a risk group to develop breast lumps. And quite often they might start off as what do you call them, non-malignant first.
And there is scientific evidence to saying that women with low thyroid function have 3 times the incidence of breast cancer. And low thyroid function is mainly due to lack of iodine.
Yeah.
So iodine is very important if you want to prevent the most prominent or devastating cancer in women, breast cancer, causing the most deaths.
And what else was I going to say? From my personal experience, years ago, I tended to have a lot of lumps in my breasts. Thankfully, they were never malignant. I had to get them, tested regularly, and that was when I was a lot younger. So you'd think I would have been a lot healthier, but I wasn't, because I didn't know about iodine at that point in time. So since the year 2006, when we discovered iodine, I've been putting 5 drops on each breast pretty much every morning, and I feel so good. That's another thing. I have lots of energy, and iodine quickly dissolves any suspicious breast lumps. Also, the liver and the spleen, they keep your lymphatic system clean. This is for guys too, by the way, because women have a lymphatic system, but of course so do the men.
Yeah, but for polycystic breasts and polycystic ovaries, the first thing we think of is, for those women, is iodine. They need to get stuck into iodine.
And then salt as well. So if you're a person that is very kind of fluidy, by that I mean like puffy, or you feel like your fingers swell up, or your ankles swell up, and your breasts, they do that funny thing that they grow and shrink with your menstrual cycle. That's actually also a sign that your body is in distress or not coping very well with the hormonal cycle.
Hormonal fluctuations.
That's right.
And the liver is also very important to control the hormonal fluctuations.
Yeah. Most of the time, these, my clients who are like that, they dramatically improve already within 1 month. They see changes like that. Now, if you still tend to be fluidy with your taking iodine, that also means you need to take beet flow. So beet flow is great to reduce inflammation and to help remove toxins from your lymphatic system. Because your lymphatic system is the waste removal system from around your body.
And then the liver gets rid of those wastes out of the body.
That's right. And if you feel swollen or puffy, that also means your potassium is low. And what you need to do is up your Himalayan salt. So just put some extra salt on your tongue during the day. I can do that now. That's the first thing I did in New Zealand. Buy myself a big bag of Himalayan salt. It's yummy.
I need some water to swill it down.
It's okay, I don't need water. So salt is, of course, our body craves salt, but we misinterpret the cries of our body and we think our body is craving sugar, so we reach for a biscuit or something. But I usually suggest first things first, put some salt on your tongue, and usually the sugar craving is gone, because sugar is another thing that makes us fluidy as well, because it causes us to not digest our proteins. Now I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but if you eat proteins and carbohydrates in the same meal, your body won't digest your proteins properly, and that attracts fluid into your lymphatic system as well.
The undigested proteins don't just stay in the bloodstream, they go out into the next fluid compartment where the lymphatic system is.
Yeah, and our lymphatic system doesn't have a heart, so it follows the blood flow exactly, like how you have many veins and arteries, whole kilometers over through your body, and so the lymphatic system follows that system, kind of runs parallel with it, but it doesn't have a heart. So a heart pumps the blood around, but our lymphatic system, the lymph fluid isn't pumped around unless it moves around very slowly, like I think once every 24 hours.
With exercising, the muscles pump those.
Yeah. So walking is good.
Channels.
Moving your arms, so that's why when you move I'm right-handed, so my right breast, the lymph fluid there moves around a lot more than the left side. And okay, so we always I brought beet flow with me, and omnizyme, that's a good enzyme that breaks down rubbish as well, and iodine.
They are the two things that'll really crank the digestive system up as well.
And gets rid of toxins.
And the proteins are broken down properly so they don't go out into the lymphatic system drawing water and fluid with them. So
because it attracts
takes
water.
a load off the lymphatic system.
Yeah, so if you have any fluid retention in your body anywhere, the first thing I would say, have some extra Himalayan salt, and definitely have extra enzymes.
Have you adequate water intake with that
meal.
Salt as well? Yeah.
And Peter, you're a bit quiet today.
Well,
because we're talking about breast and impotence.
But the same thing goes for prostate in men, because there's a lot of iodine receptor sites for in the prostate, as well as the other sex organs for women. So we all need it, not just women.
Yeah,
men,
and prostate
men
cancer is even more prevalent than breast cancer.
It's not talked about.
No, because men are all quiet like you right now when it comes to talking about boobs or prostate, which we don't need to be. We need to be open about it, really. Because life isn't much fun if you have a scary disease like that. But it's not so scary anyway when you know what to do about it. And everything in the body can be reversed because our bodies are totally amazing. Which leads me to the next thing. So here I'm saying, I was talking about underwire bras, even though studies say that that's not true. I still want to be safe with myself, so I'm not going to buy them. I'll just buy a proper sports bra. And then also don't use normal deodorant under your arms Okay, that's another really, really toxic thing. So this is stuff that everyone does and nobody really thinks about it. But when you think about your arms, your armpits, it's full of really important lymphatic glands, like which is substations, like little rubbish stations, you could say, where the rubbish is collected. And if you have any swelling or lumps on the arm, that means your body the rubbish isn't draining fast enough out of your lymphatic system.
When I look at people's blood and I see all the red cells stuck together, one of the first things I ask is, do you use commercial deodorants? And quite often people do, and I say to them, make sure you have the words written on, or that the words aluminium free are on those.
Well, or just don't buy normal deodorant, because it's like
fragrance. If there's the word fragrance, it can have 100 different toxic chemicals.
Which actually leads me to when we arrived here at our Airbnb in New Zealand, which is really cute and nice. But the first thing that struck me was the artificial fragrance, which was in the toilet. So before I even, took my coat off, I quickly took all those
sticks.
The sticks, which are beautiful, by the way. They weren't even cheap sticks. They were like expensive ones. I saw them later in an expensive homeware shop. I still put them outside. That was the first thing I did, because they're all endocrine disruptors, which means hormone disruptors, and it's just an extra layer of toxicity that our bodies can't cope with. And I want to look after my body, because, it's easy when you know what to do, and prevention is better than cure. It's just a little bit of common sense. So so externally, do things to support your body, right? By not having toxins on your body and don't squash your glands.
Anything that you put on your body, you should be able to eat and swallow it.
And
because it's going in anyway.
Yeah. You can actually boost your immune system. I can't really show you because Peter is taking up all the space. Now he isn't. But if you actually tap your bra line, I don't know. I can't show you. But anyway, just find your bra line and tap it really hard, like to the side, on the side of your bra line, like this. Okay, maybe Peter, you can. I'll show you. I'll put the camera like that. Okay, so these are my boobs. Okay, and just tap here where the bra line is, real hard. Okay, all under here. And there are really important pressure points that boost your immune system. So if you feel a cold coming on, for instance, you do that like 100 times a day. And every time the cold tries to, win the upper hand, you give your immune system a boost, and it literally will stop a cold or the flu in its track, which is really important. So, imagine if you have heaps of wires stuck around there, you're definitely, in my opinion, but I'm not a scientist, I'm just a mom and a therapist and all the rest, a crazy person who feels the energy. So if you have wires there, that's really going to block the energy flow on those important meridian points. So that's my passionate rant for tonight. So I would say go back into your house, check out any fragrant candles or anything. People say that's the new cigarette smoke. That's how bad it is for us. Increase your salt intake, your water intake. Definitely put iodine on your body every day.
Or in your water.
Drink in your water, If
10 drops a day is what we recommend for adults.
If it gets a little bit red on your boobs, if it starts to irritate, just drink it for a while and then you can put it back,
dilute it in water.
Yeah.
And then have your beet flowing omni-time to digest your food and get that bile flow going.
That's right.
Those are the most important things you can do for yourself.
And if you buy, if you want to buy beet flour, omni-time and iodine, then you may as well buy the Ultimate Vitality Boost.
Which has got a probiotic.
Because you get a probiotic in with it for almost the same price. So you can, I'll post a link here on the website.
And that 80% of our immune system belongs to the good intestinal bacteria. So our immune system is the thing that keeps us free of disease and including
keeps
cancer
fighting
and
cancer, yeah, that's right.
heals us if we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, cut long story short, I still haven't got a bra for the wedding tomorrow, but I'll just keep wearing my old bra, and I've decided I'm just going to pull the straps up a little bit before I get dressed in my wedding attire, and thankfully it's my nephew, so I can...
You're not the bride.
That's right. I'll just sort of hover around in the background somewhere and keep laughing about that funny story, which I think is hilarious. And that just goes to show when you really hate something, you actually attract, what's the word, disaster, right? Don't you, Peter?
Seem to.
Yeah, so I think I better
start loving your bra shops.
start healing, my body image, I guess, a little bit more, eh? Start loving those boobs a bit more. Anyway, my boobs have...
How much milk have they produced?
I don't know. I did do a study on it.
Thousands of litres, probably.
They did breastfeed or whatever.
For 15 years.
Something like 15 years. So I don't really care. What the lady in the bra shop says, I'm proud of him. Okay. I hope you stay warm in Tasmania. And when we come back, it's only 1 more week till spring, which actually gets all our fluids moving as well, just like all the trees and the flowers that are blossoming and all the rest. Soon our bodies will come out of winter hibernation. But in the meantime, stay warm, boost your immune system, and keep treating yourself nicely, and just have a laugh when when you get to hear things that are not so nice. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in, and
have a good week.
See you next Thursday night.
See you back
again.
in Toti.
Love you lots.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.